continue with the resource loaded schedule in Primavera. And for those of you, want to go faster with this without seeing the video in the module, this lesson, this lab, I also put the PowerPoint slide that have a screenshot of all what I'm going to do it in the slide here, so you can take a look and follow along with how to do that with the create new schedule, assign resources, define resources, view resource profile, label resources, unlabel resources, etc. So I do all the screenshot in there. A bit more convenient for you. But now I continue with the video for schedule. So now we already have the schedule without considering resources in this schedule. The next step is to define, assign resources, and then see whether it over allocated. And if over allocated, how can we be able to level those resources? So with that, we always need to define resources. And again, this problem still have mention and helper with the same problem we do by hand, same problem we do in Microsoft project, and same problem we do it in Primavera. So with that, we go ahead to define resources. If you can see on the left, you see the people there, person there, here, called resources, select resources. And in these resources, you can add new resources. So you can add, right-click, add resources, and it go to R here. So you can select that resource name, maybe M, and that it stands for mention. Okay, and that is labor, and the unit is maybe 1 per day. That is max we have. Okay. So if you want to set up the information here, the maximum unit for this mention, and the problem give you maximum 5 per day. So you can change that in the bottom. You see, go to unit and prices, again, you are in the detail. So you can select 5 per day. That's what I have. Again, you can select standard rate with money, but we are not dealing with money in this class yet. You will have a chance to do that in the next following class, which is construction project management mentioned. And then I go ahead to define another resources and move to the EANC, engineering and construction resources. I add another resources and I call that H helper. And then it will be also 1 per day per unit, right? Default unit is 1 per day. And by default, it will be maximum 8 per day, but you can select only 2. That is the maximum helper you have. So you can see move around helper, unit is 1 per day, and maximum is 2 helper. Mention, you have 1 per day default unit, and maximum in the bottom 5 per day. So that you already define resources as well as the maximum amount of your resources that you can be able to deliver in certain date. And when you're done with that, you can go back to the activities tab, or you can select the green bar here, the activity, and go back to schedule. And when you define, now you assign resources to the activity. Activity A, 2 mention and 2 helper, right? So do the same, assign resources, and here you select right click in A, assign resources, and you see mention, you add, they don't show it in here, then you select the resource tab in the bottom, resource tab, and you see the mention, unit per time, okay, and now it default is 1, but you have 2 mention, so you will still have to change that to 2 per day for this activity A, you already choose. Helper, add helper, again, select resources tab, and 1 per day, which is 1 per day, good. Move to activity B, you don't have to close the new resource tab in Windows. You can go to B, and it also to 1. So you have to select mention and change it bottom in the unit per time 2, and then helper you can select 1. Similar for C, move to C on the main schedule, mention 2, helper 1. D 1 mention 3, 3. Okay, D, select D, add. This is not good, so we have to delete, because it should be the D, select D should be the mention. How many? 1, so it's good. E 3 and F3 mention, add mention 3. Select F, add 3. Make sure we do it correctly. E3, F3. G 1M, 2H, H 1M, 1H. G 1M, 2H. H 1M, 1H. You just 1 helper, select mention, 1 mention. Make sure you select correctly in there. If not, you select the cross, the red cross, to remove that resources that you accidentally assign to certain activity. J 2, mention, helper, and H have 2. K 2, 1. Move to K 2. And then helper 1. L 3, 2. Add labor 2, helper 2. Mention 3. And finally, we have mention activity M, 2M, 1H. 2M, change the unit, select helper, and 1 helper. And when you're done with assign resource, you're done. And again, the project 60 days, if you don't consider the resource constraint. Now you can go ahead to check whether your resources by move around, if it all reflect correctly with each activity there. When it everything done, you want to show the resource graph as you did in Microsoft project. So how you do that? You can go to view, or you got here activity usage spreadsheet, activity usage profile, resource usage spreadsheet, resource usage profile. You can have it there, right? You can select that one. And if nothing in there, you can find the resources that you actually assign, right? Resources, which you mentioned, and helper mentioned. You see that resource there? So you can select the bottom here, resource usage profile, or if it go to detail, nothing here, you can go to view. You want show at the bottom, and the bottom is the resource usage profile. So either way, you can select that. And then go to find the resources that you have. So you see that the 8 in, and then 8. And then if you find out the helper, it will be 4 maximum you have. So that is the activities and the resources graph that you have. Let's talk about the mention here. And if you want to references, resource usage profile options. And if you want to show the limit, it means that I have 5 only mentioned. So if you show limit, we already defined that. If you recall, then we go to select OK, and it will show the limit as you can see here, and it 5 here, and the weekend they don't show it. If you go ahead to here, you see resource usage profile options. You can see that as well. If you want to show the cumulative actual, you can select cumulative, and it will show you that as well. Okay, so cumulative budget, you can show you how many people cumulatively show up in this project budget, but only graph you can see that. So as you can see, the some activity are over allocated. There are many resources already defined, but we talk about mention for this. And then helper, look for the helper on the left side. You see that also overlap allocated because we only have 2 helper. And then the next is how to level resources. And now look at the project duration is 16 days. And for activity, for this activity, if we finish 16 days, at certain day, we need at least 8 mentioned. However, we only have 5. How when we do similar to Microsoft project, if you go to tool, drop down, you see the level resources. Okay, level resources, or shortcut is Shift F9. See that level resources, select that one. And by default, it will be the order activity leveling priority. It already built in Primavera, but you can go ahead to select your priority, what I etc. For example, level resources only within the total float. We already total float, so you don't delay or extend the project duration. Just move around within the float so that not compromise with the project duration. However, we may efficiently use the resources. Here we just by default select that, and then select level on the bottom, sorry, on the top right level. So if you see that and it run, and you can see it now 20 days, project is 20 days, and the mention already maximum is 5, and the helper, I'm sure it will be maximum is only 2. So that similar to Microsoft project that we do. So either way, as you can see, it will be very helpful. We need to consider the resource constraints in your schedule, and that is lab is all about. So with that, you don't want to consider level resources. Very simple. You just run it again, F9 or schedule, and then by default, they don't consider resources. If you run F9 or the yes, or you go to tool, you select schedule. Okay, schedule, and then you just schedule, and then go back to 16 days. If you want level, consider resources, it will be 20 days. And that exactly the same that what we did in hand calculation of the for this lesson. 20 days, either series method or Brooks method. Series method 20 days, Brooks method also 20 days. So for now, I will post those in that lesson, the lab lesson, and also in the project for your information to use. And in addition to other video that I already create here, and those are very useful when you do the project deliverable number 2, please refer to your schedule. When how to create a work breakdown structure, how to do the basic scheduling, relationship with lead lag, how to format, to print, etc. It's very important. It not only you give it to people, the Primavera of Microsoft project, you need to sometimes print out, present to people, so that put it professionally, very important. And I have that video previously here, so that you can do it either in Microsoft project or Primavera. So with that one, I hope you see it useful.